We are live. Welcome to another episode, hey, of an uncensored account of a Black man's experience in America. My name is Lisa Alexander.
And I'm Zonette Jackson. I am super excited to bring on tonight our special guest, Big B. And I want you guys to know that this is about to be a really good episode, okay? Big B has been married and he's celebrating his 3-year anniversary to his beautiful wife, Tracy Lee Palmer. They have 2 children who are grown, 28 and 18, and they live in Tampa here, close to MacDill Air Force Base. He's an ordained pastor of the Gospel of Jesus, and he is a licensed financial coach. He is a member and a servant of Radiant Church in Tampa. He is a men's ministry pastor, mentor, and counselor, and he is a retired veteran of the United States Navy. We welcome you, Big B.
Hey, Big B. Hey, there it is. There we go. There we go.
And he's funny.
Hello.
And he's funny.
Hello. Yes, I mean, thank you. At least 2 people think so.
All right, that's what I say too. How are you, Big B? We are glad that you joined us. We are very glad that you joined us. So we're glad
It's
you're
a
here.
great evening in South Tampa. I hope it don't rain, but we are inside. Thank you, COVID.
Yeah. Well, you know how Florida goes. You know how they go with their rain. And if they just feel like it starts raining. So you know how it goes. So we're excited that you're here to talk about your being Black in America and your personal experience. And I love our designer, as we were talking earlier, that our guests are all very different. And we're excited to have him because he has a unique avenue into this conversation. So let's get started, Big B. You ready?
Get started.
All right.
All right. So our first question tonight is, at what age were you made aware that your skin color mattered and would determine how you'd be treated?
Let's see. For me, I would say immediately, around the age of 5. 5 years old, just growing up, urban Dayton, Ohio, the hood, I mean, the typical hood. Just everybody looked like me, but everybody wasn't me. And just immediately, when anybody else came in and didn't look like us, it was clear that there was something different about me. And so I was reminded of it when I would, rather just playing with another kid that wasn't the same color or wanting to play over, let's just say, Johnny's house. I was immediately reminded that that's just not okay, or you're going to have some kind of backlash from doing that.
Wow. And how'd that make you feel? I mean, at the age of 5, that's a big deal.
I had to make a decision. I have a brother that's 2.5 years younger than me. Okay. And as you said earlier, we're all different humans. And so his reaction was, well, then fine, then I'll stay with mine. Well, mine was, I don't understand why. And with no mom in the house, no father, still to this day, I'm 50 years old and I don't know who my dad is, but that's another topic for another day. Yeah. But I think it goes well with being Black in America. A lot of us share the same experience that are of the male persuasion. And literally, it's just, I wanted answers to my question. But God, the one I believe in, the one that loves us, told me a long time ago, but I sent you a granny. And my granny told me that, you can ask all the questions that you want. And so since I'm at home, latchkey kid before there was a word, I had to ask my questions. And literally, my granny would say, well, it's just the world is different, son. It really is. But it's a little bit more different for us. So it made me feel special, because she made me feel special.
Yeah.
Brian means king. I learned that from my granny. My middle name is Keith. It means servant. I learned that from my granny. So I'm serving king. And then when I fell into Christ, I realized that all I want and need to be, regardless of my race or how people treat me, is a priest, a prophet, and a servant king to everybody around me, especially my household. So I'm just trying to do that from 5 forward. And she just made me feel special when the world was not, right outside my door. And made me understand that I could ask questions and not feel bad about asking them.
I love that. I love that the way your grandma answered those questions created such a foundation for you that you were able to be confident and secure in who you were. She answered your question in a way where it did not cause you to feel, it didn't remain you being a Black person, or in a way, you know, it didn't have you questioning or making you feel a certain way. I love that she created that, you know, just that confidence, and the answer that she gave you, that you're able to now look at life in a different way, and kind of like react to things in a different way. It's like the foundation of everything. Wow.
Yes, indeed. I love that it started way back then too. So I'm not even, so just world, it's just know that I didn't necessarily know the questions, and I'm kind of glad, because this first one sets the foundation upon which we go from here. And literally, if it was not for my granny, but let's go, because I didn't know God. So if it was not for my granny, I don't think I'd be here. Later on, when we get into this, you'll realize my foundation has always been in the Lord, even though I didn't know him. But he sent the angel with skin on her called Granny. And Granny took care of me from birth, basically to say, although the world may shun you, and this is about race, but I'm talking about period. You can still stand firm on, this is who you are. And then from the fact that this is who you are, you can now look through people who don't want to accept that.
And I think what a great lesson this is, even for like parents who are out there in our audience right now, who are saying, man, this is, it's grimy what's going on. It's discouraging sometimes. It's heart-wrenching of the things that are happening. But if you have a mother, or you have a foundation, or if you have covering that is saying to you what Granny said to you, Brian, like, you know, it's gonna be okay. You are who you are, and that's not gonna change, you know, what's happening around you. Who you are. It kind of, so it's great that we can teach our children this kind of stuff, so that they're growing up and feeling like, man, what's happening around me is not going to determine who's in me and who I am. Wow.
The one thing that I wanted to, because it's probably going to be a lot of that in our time together tonight. And again, I'm just privileged and blessed, actually honored to be amongst just all that are watching, but too powerful. And I know you, Zanette. Yes, ma'am. I just met you, Lisa. But if Zanette will be any witness to this, I am one that once the Spirit says you're okay and I'm safe, you're family. You're no longer just a lady on the screen. You're my family. And until you change that, we'll get into that too, then you're my family. It's almost like a teacher in school. Students, it's your first day. Everybody gets 100. You are able to bring that down to a 0. My encouragement is, let us be, so those who have anybody that's in our sphere of influence, the loudest voice in their head. And that was my granny. So when I met opposition at 5 years old, she was the loudest voice in my head.
That's good. And it really does make a difference, the voice in your head. So our second question to you, Big B, is what are some things that you have to be aware of daily, or precautions you have to take to avoid being stereotyped?
Oh, what a good question. So what I have to do before I even step outside is just realize that not everybody thinks the way that I do. So since they don't, let me be at least cautious in the way that I move. I want to be able to move in a way according to, I learned a word a long time ago called culture switching. And it's basically, as I'm moving through the culture, I need to switch. Now I'm a pastor, so as Paul would say, I am all things to all people, so that someone may know the truth of Jesus Christ. Well, I needed to be all things to all people, no matter what. So if I met with a laugh, we're laughing. If I met with some little bit of confrontation, I'm at least going to back up, and it maybe smile or say nothing, but I'm not going to hit you with anger or confrontation. Just, I need to be able to move, because before I left that house where it was safe, before I left my yard when I was young, before I left the car, before I pull into a situation, I'm thinking, there are people that don't think like you, that don't believe like you. They may look like you even, so be cautious.
Yeah.
Okay. That's wisdom right there.
Not afraid. So let me go there. Not afraid. So that's one thing that I've learned all throughout my life too, and God has been able to bless that. But I'm gonna tell you, my granny was too. And I'm not afraid of anybody or anything, but I can be cautious. I can be concerned, aware. I can be able to look at something and go, I'm not going down that street today. I'm not walking in that store. Or if the cop is coming and I look in the rear view and he has a little bit of, I can at least go, okay, well, right now, I'm gonna turn my radio off. I'm gonna sit up straight. Matter of fact, let me get my ID now. Just let me be cautious and do my part so that the outcome at least has a chance.
Yeah.
Be better than what it might be.
You know, Charles kind of piggyback off what you said in the comments, saying culture switching is a real deal as long as you stay true to yourself. The problem was when all the switching strips you of your identity. And I think that was a powerful statement, because I agree. Just like Paul said, okay, you know, you kind of, however your day goes, whoever you're meeting, you kind of go flexible with it, you know, as long as it doesn't strip you of who you are. And I think that's where the integrity comes in. The core of who you are stays the same. Yeah, that was real good. So
that's real good.
Big B, I got another question for you. Can you please tell us about a painful experience or a memory where you were unjustly treated because of your race?
So because of my personality and character, even at a young age, so around 7 years old, and again, it's just me and my brother riding bikes. I mean, doing what we need to do in order to do what we need to do until mommy gets back home. She worked early in the morning, worked all night long. And then when crap didn't have her, she could show some kind of semblance of taking care of her kids. So we took care of ourselves. And basically, the most painful experience was, if you guys remember the movie, the cartoon Pinocchio, where all the boys went to the land and had fun. Well, we went to a man's house that had video games and all kind of stuff. The neighborhood, nice guy, older fella, all that type of stuff, white guy. He had all the money, it seemed, all the soda, all the stuff your mama wouldn't let you have. And literally, it was like, I'm going over here again. And we were invited the first time by another group of boys, a group of friends. We didn't have any idea. And we're just, I mean, all the games seemed to have unlimited credits. I mean, it just seemed to be a wonderful time. Well, a few days into this, after every day after school, after every day on the weekend, things seemed to get a little weird. When you met at the door with just, hey, B, to hugs and touching and all type of stuff. It just seemed to be a little weird. But we kept coming because the fun was still there, nothing big. Well, when it just changed from and he was white, and it could have been anybody that's not black. But the first time I realized the painful experience of this skin that we're in, that we have no control over, he started to change on us and really start acting the way I would see the slave master on TV, or the I am over you because I am older and white and you're a kid and you're black and you need to keep coming and doing what I say or do what I tell you to do because I'm giving you food. I got to realize that this is an uncomfortable situation. And before we knew it, it was the first time that we were abused by someone outside of our race, and me and my brother were molested for the first time. Wow. So it's just that it was, again, I'm glad that in my head, I had hate this man that has hurt you. So for anybody just now listening, the loudest voice in my head is, if someone were to hurt me, for instance, let's just go with Zanette or Lisa. It would not be black girl, that N-word that hurt me. It would be Lisa hurt me. So then right now, I don't like Lisa. That's the same with this man for me. I was upset, hurt that this man, but my brother, all of the other boys that looked like us were that white man. And then he retaliated before going to prison and is probably dead now. Is just like, well, you black kids, you ends, you all these things are supposed to act like this because I'm the one helping you. And that abuse stained us for a whole of our life. My brother's 2.5 years, so 48 years and 50 years, we still have the memory of someone hurt us. It's just unfortunate. So if it was a black man, same thing, because the other two molestations that happened, it was from our own color. So basically, it's just, that was about the first time and painful time that I realized that there are people out there that are of other persuasions that don't have the same skin tone, that don't act like, don't understand what acting like a civilized person is. They're out to hurt other vulnerable, other innocent people. And it's just something that now my pursuit at 50 years old and all of the strength and power that God has continued to give me is to just make sure that I tell somebody young that, hey, be cautious, be aware, and make sure you run or leave a situation that's uncomfortable.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that,
Yeah.
Big B, because that's, wow, that might help a lot of people out, but just being vulnerable, that's something that's, you know.
Yeah, that you touched on a lot of stuff just now in that. There's a lot of dynamics in that where you talk about, first of all, your mom worked so much and that so she wasn't there in the home. And so, of course, as a little kid, you want chips, soda, candy, everything that now this person is providing, and not knowing that this is kind of what they do to get children in the home. And but I think it was a really powerful statement when you talked about like how your granny, and I think we might have even talked a little bit about this off screen, but that your granny taught you not to hate the person's color, but it was them. It's not the color or their gender or anything like that. It's that. So you didn't say, well, the white man molested me. It was really this person did me harm.
There's a bad person. It's something bad to me, and I'm gonna stay away from that bad person. But see, here's the thing that also needs to happen as far as, you know, this momentum, this movement that has been created by We Are Listening. And again, God bless the two of you and all the behind scenes people who are out there making this work, and those that are listening that are taking it in and taking from your evening. You could be anywhere, but you chose to be here. This is an opportunity to talk to those younger than us, to talk to those that are in our sphere of influence. And all I can say is it'll allow you also, when there's a bad experience, whether it be racism, whether it be anything, for you to pause and choose what you're going to do with it.
That's good.
I chose to literally say, I am going to be more cautious when a stranger offers me something, because now that moment, that stain, that molestation, that experience, it's in there, it's ingrained. So for those that get abused, for those that get pulled over or go to jail unlawfully, anything that happens to you bad, just bullied. I mean, this is huge for the kids today. Yeah. Just realize you have a choice. So another second thing, other than not being selective of someone's skin color or race or family line or any of that, and just to keep, I use Johnny and Sheila. Johnny's male, Sheila's female. And I use it even to this day. I did when I was a kid. It's basically, it's Johnny hurt me, so I'm going to take care, or I'm going to talk to, or I'm going to leave Johnny alone. Same with Sheila. Do that when something in your life happens where, okay, choice. I'm going to choose to experience this differently and protect myself for the next time, or no choice. I'm going to do nothing. And this is horrible, but I'm truthfully telling anybody listening, and I'm going to be up for whatever happens to me again. So say Black man on the call, Black mother with Black children on the call. Please tell them, no matter what happens to you, you have a choice how you respond.
That's right. That's right.
Respond wisely according to what you know. Now I understand why law would create like a, and this is just, this is uncensored. Let's be uncensored. I've always, you see me lean in? Yeah, here we go.
All right now.
Woo! Okay. Keeping it as real as I possibly can. I think that the 5-second rule, that's lawful, like things that happen within 5 seconds of an assault occurrence or anything like that, is almost like we can't do nothing about it. You know, the 6 second we'll lock you up, or the 6 second we'll shoot you in the head. But 5 seconds, okay. I think that was created because, you know, when you get angry or hurt or sad, there's a response that happens. Fight or flight. You either run or you fight. And I think in that choice, now you can get a person off of you, but then you have to choose and say, I'm not trying to kill you. I'm simply just trying to get you off of me. You can say something that may come out derogatory, cuss words, whatever it is. You're afraid. You are hurt. You are confused. But once you realize, choose. You are confused. Realize, then choose how you respond. Get away from me. Don't talk to me like that. How do you need to understand that I might have done the infraction, but this right here is abuse. Just be able to say something, be able to do something to change your atmosphere. We all have a choice, no matter what happens, on how we respond.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And if I could just say something real quick, I want to just touch on this. This is not the show for this, but I want to acknowledge as a Black man in America that you can openly acknowledge that you were molested as a child. And you are not the only Black man to have had that happen as a child. And so for you to be able to share that, I think it's a really big deal. And I really hope the other men that are listening to that would find it. Because I mean, again, you think about it, oh, well, this happened to me, but it's not who I, they internalize it, may not deal with it. And so it's really important that they realize there's healing available. They can talk about it and be okay. Anyway, you get what I'm saying.
But I'm thankful for that, because I can take from that, Lisa, appreciatively and say that the reason I'm in ministry and chose the Father to the Fatherless ministry, which I've been doing for over 25 years, is simply because when later on in my life, something else happened, I went silent. Just like people who are raped, just like people who are abused, just like people who are wrongly accused and go to prison. You go silent. Well, I'm sorry. Silent is the same as admitting that you've chosen the enemy's approach. By being silent, the one who is doing the harm, you've sided with them. By not voting, you've decided that whoever gets picked, their ways are best. All I'm saying is, I decided a long time ago that my voice, even if it comes out in tears, even if it comes out confused, I need to tell, because if I tell, somebody will hear. And if they hear, they can at least internalize. And if it does not apply to them, there's going to be somebody that it applies to in their circle that will listen to their voice and not mine.
That's good.
We all have somebody that is waiting for us to talk to them. So if we go silent, we're handing them over.
Jesus. That's so powerful.
We're handing them over to evil. We're handing them over to the world. At least get a chance to say, even if they don't listen, teenager right now, 18 years old, if I just stop talking because she don't want to hear it because daddy weird, I done handed her over to everything that she's trying or thinking that she's ready for. We need to speak. God spoke and things changed.
Yes, that's
we
true.
Have been given a voice to talk.
Yep. Powerful.
That's powerful.
Powerful, Big B. You better preach.
Wow. I mean, yeah, we could just stay right there, if we had time. Man.
But I know you helped a brother out. I know you helped a brother out today.
Yeah.
To begin to use their voice and find their freedom through that. So thank you for that.
Just be vulnerable.
When you say on the vulnerable, so here's the thing about it. If it only happened once, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe cartoons would have fixed it, or Cheerios or something. I don't know. Maybe I would have forgot. But by 9 years old, I had been molested and or raped 3 times. So I didn't understand. I clearly still don't. A lot of the things that I not have a fear anymore, but of a pause on, is because of what happens. Okay, prison. I have an issue just with doing something wrong because I might go to prison and then my brain takes me back to the 3 times. Where it's prominent, even though it may not happen to everybody. And I'm sorry if there's anybody on the call that has been behind bars. It may not be anything true to what I'm saying, but all I'm saying is my mind says, you go in there, it's going to happen again. So I'm just trying to tell somebody that, hey, if it has happened to you, and I'm talking about almost like just go, oh, you got mothers on the call. It's not necessarily you're telling your kids, don't let nobody stick stuff in your private parts. No, you say, don't let them touch you. If it's uncomfortable, say something. If it feels weird, speak about it. If you don't like it, say so. That's what I'm trying to say. You got to be able to say that, hey, this has happened and I'm not alone. And if it's for anybody tonight, Big B was on there. And the reason why I'm Big B is because under God, I got to be graceful. But if it comes by 5 seconds, you will know not to touch me ever again.
Wow. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Wow. Man. Gotta take a minute. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. No, honestly, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being so vulnerable. Thank you for being so transparent. That can be hard to do, but I appreciate that, because through transparency and vulnerability comes healing.
That's right.
And we're able to get past the stuff that we, like feel like, especially for men, for Black men who just hold on to so much, and they just feel like, their pride's going to be stripped, their ego going to be stripped, their manhood going to be stripped if I just let you know what's really going on, what I've experienced. So I commend you, and I'm just, thank you. I know you've helped somebody out, and I know, man,
healing and talking about it.
Yep.
That's why, again, we are listening. This is your third. I see 1,000 episodes. I see 10,000 episodes. I see Syndicate. I see, come on now.
You better preach.
Come on, I see part 2 and 3 where y'all got to get other people to run them in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We need other girls to go ahead, other mamas, other sisters, teachers, whatever, to now post this everywhere. I see these in Africa where you literally are talking to somebody that's that just lost their mother and father, and they are a Black African with no parents at 5. They just, come on. I mean, this is for everybody.
Yeah.
Once we get past to the topic of July, I guess this is just for July until you guys extended a Black man's experience in America. All of these conversations are not only just for us, but they're for everybody to at least take apart from it what they need.
Agree.
So thank you.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Well said. So let me keep moving here. What has your experience been being in an interracial marriage?
So from my community, it's been absolutely horrible. Only because, and not all, and not everybody. And I've learned that just throughout the years. All, never, always, everybody. You got to be careful with those words.
Yeah.
You really do. So let me say that again. Not all of my Black sisters and brothers have a problem with me actually choosing. I'm just saying it as raw as it is because it's me. Choosing who I've chosen 3 times. This is my 3rd marriage, just so everybody knows. And the first 2, my 28-year-old son came from a white woman. My rebound, just to be honest, I mean, she done nothing against her, but it was a rebound. That's why we didn't work out. 2nd marriage, white woman, and I'm married to, and I call her beautiful because she is
beautiful. Hey, Miss Tracy.
Tracy, and it's also a white woman. But see, again, as I tried to say in the beginning, but I'm giving it to the world. I never see, and it's not that I don't see color, but neither one of us, she chose me, I chose her, really pause at the fact that here's this fine Black man and here's this beautiful Irish redhead woman. No, it was just, hi, Tracy. What's up, B? You sure are beautiful. Oh, boy, you handsome. And we moved on, and now we about to be in November 3 years married after 11 years of knowing each other. So literally, for me, it's just simply interracial. We make some beautiful babies. I'm just putting it out there. Okay, that wasn't the point. That's not my answer. I'm just saying. But, mocha is good. No, I'm just okay. Stay focused. But literally, it's just simply the racial backlash for choosing for choosing another race has been tremendous all my life, and it's just a reflection of, again, in my last answer, it helps me to realize that there are almost 8 billion people on the planet, and we are all uniquely, beautifully, and wonderfully made. But we all are uniquely opinionated and different.
That's true.
And we respond, react, think of, do differently. Now, we may bump into each other. I'm thinking of the movie Crash. There may be things that we have similarities on. There may be times where we can link up like now and we're all on one accord, but we're all different for a reason.
Yeah.
So why should we, based on just the skin we were born in, we didn't choose this. Why should we now limit the interaction of all other people on the planet? And that's just my answer for me.
Well, I know you still.
And that's also, I'm sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to.
you're good. You're good.
I want to also say though, but this does not discredit or disrespect or offend or try to tell someone who chooses their own. I'm not. Love who you fall in love with is literally my answer for all people, for Black, white, interracial, gay, homosexual. Fall in love with who you fall in love with, but just recognize, again, because you guys have chosen, the world is going to ripple, and there will be backlash. Early on, my granny, again, bless her heart, 2004, went home and is still talking to me right now. And she would always say, you know, your choices have consequences, all of them. So let me say that again. Choices have consequences. Every choice you make has a consequence. Some are good, some are bad, some are indifferent. But there's going to be something happening by you making a choice. Choose wisely.
That's wisdom right there.
I think you answered my question. I was going to say, like, what would you tell? Because you said, I know it was a Black community that kind of gave you some feedback from marrying white women.
In my own family.
And, right. Even in your own family.
Family.
I guess my question was follow-up question was going to be like, what would you say to them when it comes to respecting interracial marriage and dating? And I think you kind of touched on it, unless you wanted to add something else to it.
And it's literally, I'm so glad you clarified it as the point in. My point would be even to my family or all the people who had an issue or have today an issue when you're walking down the street and you look upon two different races intimately together. Like, excuse me. I would just say you have to pause. And when you pause, you allow space for clarity, wisdom, knowledge. You allow space for goodness to flow. Because when you don't pause, I always try to tell my kids, you're moving too fast. You're moving too fast. You don't give enough chance for your mind to think. So when you pause and you see the two, you have to say something like this. I may not choose that, but look at them. They're so happy. Or maybe it's beautiful there. I don't know. That's it. Instead of opinionating and now immediately pushing it away as that just can't be. And then all the other stuff that I've experienced in my life, such as don't get with that other race, your baby gonna blow up in their belly. I mean, it's just so many things out in the world that get said because of the hatred and the horrible. And I think that correlates great to race. You know, racism to me, again, I tried to say to Lisa and Zanette in the beginning that when it comes to cops specifically, I really don't have much to say about it other than I do feel the pain of all those who have suffered, and I am affected in a way by George Floyd and all the people that are just being profiled and abused. But what I do have a choice to do is just simply say, what can I do? What can I do to make at least my interaction with any person better than the person that came before me? So let a white person come up to me or another race come up to me and they have a racial hatred against me, discrimination. What can I do while this is going on to show this person in this moment, whether they receive it or not, that I'm different and you are too. I'm different and I'm not going to take your abuse, but yet I really want you to know that I'm not. Thank you, God. There's a bottom. So, okay. All right. A great prophet once said, when anything such as racism comes out, you have to take it to the root, to the cause of that racism. So hatred, racism, is literally, there's something, if you rewind the tape, and that person walking in it or choosing to walk in it, that is bigger than the output that they're putting on a person of race or of a different color. Yeah. So when you get someone that just purposely, okay, let's just go the way we're kind of talking. A cop comes up, sees a black person, they're white, and they do something wrong to them. I'm going to have to believe that it's not just that first interaction that now I want to kill George Floyd. I'm trying to say it in a way that's like honest but sensitive. I'm not degrading. I'm not taking away diminishing, but I'm just saying there's got to be something deeper in the root of the person, the heart of the person that did that to the point that they couldn't stop and see. Yeah, I'm mad at the 4th grade bully that was black that put my face in the water fountain And now that person there's a root.
Yeah.
My thing is just be cautious and take a pause and then respond and say, I am going to choose to be different, and I'm going to respond differently than what other people. So I'm not going to fight you. I'm just going to try to make sure you understand that. Are you really trying to hurt me, Brian Palmer, Big B? Right. Or are you hurting the skin I am in? And I'm going to, now here we go. Or are you coming after the skin? Are you coming after the clothes I wear that I didn't choose either? Wow. You didn't choose yours. I didn't choose mine. This already, when you talk, diffuses a lot of people. You'll get them to go, what did you say? I never heard anybody talk like that. Keep talking. Keep talking. Keep talking.
That's so good.
Are you mad at somebody that hurt you when they were 5 years old? Or what are you mad at?
Are you mad? What are you really mad at? Because it's not me. I've never seen you before. I was by you. I stopped at the stoplight beside you. You got out your car, came over to me. What's your name again? I'm Big B. Tony. Hi, Tony. Okay, Tony, hold on. Wait a minute. There's a gun. Can I get a word out? Are you mad at me? Or are you mad at the one that looks like me? Well, if you're not mad at me, I'm going to ask you to let me go. Right. And I hope you get to the root of what you're really mad at.
That's good.
I'm telling you right away, it'll cause a diffusion, and they'll go, now you still may lose your life, but at least you've caused a ripple in their space for them to go, I gotta research. It's the same with finding Jesus. When you hear about it at first, you're just not. I mean, there's a couple of people that go, "Yep, hallelujah, he's mine." But most people hear something different. There's a retract. There's a retract. Then you kind of go, "I'm gonna think about that a little bit. I've never heard it said that before. That's new to me. Tell me a little bit more." That's what a racist needs to hear. Something different. Pause. And then respond. Do not go too fast, therefore you'll react. Let me say that again. You want to make sure that in life, everybody. Let's start pausing, allowing space.
Start pausing.
And then respond. Let's stop moving too fast and reacting.
That's right.
That is so good. Let's start pausing before we react. You said so many good stuff, but I've honestly never heard it broken down to me the way you just did, because I've always attached my experiences that I've had with being a Black woman I've taken it personal, right? So you're attacking me, or you just said something, or you showed me some kind of stereotype, you're attacking me. And I never thought, you're not really attacking me because you don't know me. You're attacking my skin color, the experiences that you've had with some other Black woman, some other Black man from way back when. Wow.
Yeah.
That is mind blowing. And
that's good. That's good.
That just changes everything. If we're able to, audience, of all of you guys that are listening right now, wow, is that, I need y'all to just type in the comments something like, is that? Catch it. Is that like, it's like a light bulb just came on when you
but you know what?
That's powerful.
Sonny, if I could piggyback off of that, because it's not just the race, skin color. I don't like the position that you're in. I don't like the job that you have. I don't like who you represent. So I don't like all pastors. So I don't like all managers. So I don't like all supervisors, because my last supervisor. So not me. It's somebody else.
You can even go into the name. You can go into just your name. Okay, we're gonna go with, and then I remember this when I said it the first time. We'll see if you respond the same time. Charles, if you're listening, don't get mad at me. You know I love your wife and I love you too. But look, so when I met Mrs. Jackson, I said, "Well, hello, Zanette," and she went, "Oh my goodness, the way you say my name, that's just so awesome. Say it again." All right, cool. Now, whether it be Zanette, now people might even hate the fact I can't pronounce your name. I don't like you. Lisa reminds me of my third grade teacher or my first girlfriend, and now I don't see you, beautiful Black woman. I see Lisa, who hurt my feeling. So now I gotta hurt you. So it's like that. Big B, you might not be so big, so I'm gonna show you how little you are. It's like people just have a hurt that they don't know how to pause and respond to.
Man,
You better
it's like therapy.
Pause and respond.
Pause and respond. Wow. It's a
game
whole
changer.
lot we got to think about. Wow.
Hashtag game changer.
We're going with that.
Yeah.
We're going with that tonight. That's our theme for tonight. Pause.
You shared a whole lot we got to think about. And man, shouldn't we think about it? Even, wow, you brought up a good point. I might have to shit in another because I don't want to take up too much of our time, because even just my name, I know it's like, you know, my name is so unique and people just manhandle it, say it all kinds of ways. And sometimes I do get offended, like, oh my God, here we go. But anyways, now I know it's not even personal, right? I can't take it personal. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. All right. So where or how do you think real change can occur for Black men? Big B.
It starts with me. That's how real change can occur. It starts with me. So if I was to step out tomorrow and my whole 24 hours, my mission is to affect change in the way that a Black man experiences, encounters, embraces their world, my world. What I would do is just keep in mind that it starts with me. So then there would be some prep in the house. I would wash, make sure I have on some kind of deodorant. I mean, I just would prepare. It starts with me. Biblically, I would, at least if I know God, go after him. Just sit with him first and pray over myself. I am about to I'm about to release myself from the safety confounds of your house, Father God. And I'm going out into the unknown once again. So there we go. Okay. And then once I'm out there, it starts with me. So I am an outgoing person, but if you're an introvert, just make sure that you at least stay open to the fact that somebody might be trying to see you, talk to you, interact with you. Now, if you're a person on your phone, it starts with you though. At least look up every once in a while and check out the world around you. Put a smile on your face, even if you're not a smiler. I mean, it starts with you. You are only responsible for yourself. So since you are, remind yourself as you're walking through the world and saying, okay, I see something up ahead. I'm going to choose first that it starts with me. Let me enter it. Let me not enter it. Let me do something different because I'm the only one that I can affect change in.
Wow.
I'm the only one. What's going to happen is going to happen. But if I think that if I do something better or best from my part, I can at least say if I live or if I stay outside of prison, that I did my part, my best. I chose to do best.
Yeah.
Just choose the high road.
Yeah. And you can only control you. You can only control you.
Yeah. Come on. Really, a lot of the problems are people trying to,
You know that can preach. You already know, Big B, that can preach. Yeah.
So many people are trying to run other people's business. Back in the day, it used to be easy to say, mind your business. It ain't always your business to get into other people's business. If it really ain't got nothing to do with you, just please pause and respond by praying, walking away, just not saying anything, or at least offering a kind word if you're going to interact at all. Excuse me, I noticed that there's a little bit of frustration going on. Can I offer a prayer? Can I help in any way? I mean, that's if you're going to interact. But if you choose not to, don't go telling people what they should or should not do. Don't get into other people's business. Mind your own business.
Mind your own business.
Mind your business. Mind your business.
All right.
So that's what I would do. That's what I would do. That's how I affect change. All
right. So last question we have for you is going to be this one. If you could change one misconception or stereotype about Black men, what would it be?
We're not all players. We don't abuse our women. And just because I'm a big Black man, don't mean I'm gonna hurt you.
That's good.
That's good.
Because Ned and Charles know, but see, Lisa, you're gonna know by now, I think. I'm a teddy bear and a gentle giant.
Teddy bear. Yes, he is.
But you want me on your team because if it ever needs to go down, I will break everything to protect you.
Yeah, those are some really good answers. I think those are several of the assumptions that people make about Black men.
Yeah. I'm not a rapist. I care about people. I am not out to abandon my kids. I am not, at least I am not. So my pursuit would be to show that I am not. That doesn't mean that all of us aren't, but at least all of us aren't.
Yep. And like, it's not a race thing either. Anybody could be that in any race.
Yeah.
But they put it on Black men. So okay, sorry. Go Z.
No, so we're going to do our closing questions. We ask all our panelists these questions, Big B. So the first one is, share with us the first word or experience that comes to mind when you hear the following words. And the first word is racial profiling.
Quotas.
Ooh. All right. Ooh, I hear that. Stereotypes.
Illiterate.
White privilege.
It's almost like a 2-word. Take it. Like, you should take this Black person because I have the privilege. Well, that probably ain't the right one, so let's try it again. Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
White privilege.
White privilege.
White privilege.
Yeah.
White privilege.
You should take this Black person because I'm white.
That's my word. That's what I want. It's just take it because that's how it comes across. And again, I'm back to the all and every. It's not all white. It's not every white person.
Yeah.
But when I think of it, because of the way that it's come out, it's literally, you should take it. Don't fight it. It's the way it is.
Right.
Because I'm white and you're not.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is social injustice.
Hatred. Again, racism is literally the hatred of. So social injustice is just somebody that hates something and they're going to put it on everybody that they just come across.
Yeah. Prejudice.
Ignorance. Lack of knowledge. Prejudice. Ignorance. Tell me more. I don't know about you. Tell me a little bit more.
Marginalization.
Marginalization. Wow. There's so many words. Okay, so marginalization, fear.
All right.
We got Big B silent on this one. We got you quiet.
Yeah.
We're like, wow.
He's like, man, it's a lot. It's a lot. Wow.
Yeah, fear, I think, when it comes to marginalization, fear.
Yeah.
Literally, someone's afraid of something that might happen in their mind from allowing it to be equal for everybody. So to marginalize it is to keep the everybody's that I'm fearful of out.
Jesus.
Yeah, just thank you. Yeah, like right away, I'm gonna draw this particular line because if women are empowered, then now I can't get a job. So I'm gonna marginalize the employment or the pay. I'm just gonna marginalize things because I am fearful of something.
That's good.
Yeah. You have the floor, Big V. What is one thing that you want to express to our audience? What is one thing you'd like to say?
Before your feet hit the ground in the morning, make sure you at least acknowledge the one that woke you up. After doing so, say these words over yourself. Today, I choose to make a difference in my house and in my environment. And that difference will be for the good and not for the bad. I choose, not them, but me.
That's good. I love it. I hope
I
y'all
know.
watch that again. So I want to just say real quick that I think one of the biggest things that you talked about for us today is pausing and responding. Like, because oftentimes, like you said, if I push you, your reaction is to like push me right back. But then often that can result in something that's catastrophic oftentimes, whether it's words or physical catastrophe. So if we pause and then respond, we're giving them grace and we're giving ourselves a bit of wisdom to make a better choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's right. Big V, thank you so much for joining us on our third episode. It was powerful. It was impactful. It was insightful. I learned so much from your wisdom, from your experience. You're being so transparent and vulnerable. We appreciate you so much. We're honored to have you on the show. Thanks for coming on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And
thank you very much for having. I'm sorry. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. It is just a wonderful opportunity to see that there is good in the Black community. There is good in America. There is good in the midst of ugliness. There's good. But what we have to do is pause and respond to it. That's right. And choose it every day. Yeah. I love you guys. God bless you all. May you have a wonderful evening.
You too.
Yes. Thank you, Big V. So join us next week. Another episode on Monday from 7:30 of another guest sharing their experience of being a Black man in America. This has been so insightful. Thank you for our audience for sharing your comments and questions, and just thank you for tuning in. So we'll see you on the next one.
Bye, guys. See ya.
Bye.